Friends, this is Eve Christoph, your love life coach. Welcome to Eve's Eden, where marriage is real. Let's talk about passionate marriage, okay? Versus Disney marriage. Alright, so we have these different things that men and women think that they're going to get out of the situation. First, let's look at women. Women are seeking a certain amount of power that we just cannot easily access without being married. Now, it's not true that we can't access it, and it's probably much more fun for us to access that power on our own before getting married. But for most of us women, there's this thing about status that comes when you're married. People talk to you differently. People help you in the store much more easily. With you have more authority. If you say your husband and you are this and that looking for, there'll be a different attitude towards you than when you're a single woman. There's this feeling as women that we're getting older, and how will we survive in our old age with our wages being lower and having given most of our lives to our children. So we are looking for security when we think of marriage. We're thinking of safety and a safe harbor. What about this thing about love that is really about us uniquely? That is sort of on the second burner a lot of times for women, when we're also dealing with women competing over our man all the time. And when we're married, finally we get to feel community support comes around us. We feel that the man is now going to be willing to fully go into an intimacy adventure with us that is sexual intention to really take us to all of our levels of orgasm. It may not be true that he has any intention of becoming more intimate. His idea of marriage, and for men it often is it's seeking this solace, this home that he lost when he was a little boy, when mama was there and she was feeding everybody, and there was music in the home and beauty all around him, with the feminine there to nourish his heart and soul and spirit with her beauty and her mind and her emotionality, and you know, making life easier again, where there's food on the table and help with the homemaking. So as a woman, are you into any of that? Is that your plan on getting married? Do you want to be giving that? There's a survey done about who are the happiest people on earth: married men, single women, unmarried men, married women, and the survey goes like this. At the very top, the happiest people on earth, believe it or not, despite all the resistance that men put up to marriage, married men were by far the happiest of all the people on the planet. Who were the next happiest? Unmarried women. They were really happy. Who were the most miserable? Married women. Married women just really work hard all the time, pleasing a lot of people, but still this idea that we're going to get safety and some prestige and some respect and some ability to have a commitment that goes deeper beyond just feeling sort of used for our bodies and loved really uniquely for who we are. These are the kinds of things that women are thinking about. And so when you go into this whole thing, what I want you to consider are alternatives. If you love women and you really don't want to get married, is there a way that you can think of the women you're dating, think of their long-term plan? Can you give support, some kind of empowerment to her career? Can you help her with her website? Can you help her make a business card? Can you help her think through her long-range plan, so that you are, even if you're not getting married, you're adding to her her protection, her safety on the planet? If you don't want to get married And she's saying, but I want the next step. I want the next step. Why don't you step up your intimacy with her? Like, how much energy are you really putting into knowing her pleasure, helping her heal her blocks, and creating a kind of a commitment that's very intense for at least a certain amount of time? You say, I'm going to give you my all for this whole 6 months, this whole year. I want to focus on nothing but your healing of your intimacy, desires, and being here with you, because I know that's how much presence I have to give. This 6 months, I can feel it. It's real. It's not the same thing, it's true, as making these vows, but remember, the vows, people tend to put each other on the shelf. As soon as they make long-term vows, it's like everybody's like, okay, got you, we're all set now, and everybody's asleep, and without focus on each other, the whole thing starts to feel really strangely odd. So I'm really big on intention agreements that you remake every 3 months or 6 months. You say, okay, what are we about here spiritually? What are we going to do for each other financially? What are we going to do for each other's creativity? How are we going to join each other to bring birth out of this relationship? And because so many women get married for the sake of wanting children and wanting the commitment there to have a partner in it with them, this is something I think you should consider as a man as a great, great honor. Instead of being afraid, this is the greatest adventure of the development of the human soul, is when you become a father and a family man. And you really make those sacrifices. You think you're missing so much, but if you guys get into a groove with not competing over needs, but helping each other have breaks, and you as the man really get in there with taking care of the kids, what you get in exchange is, like, I know one man, he was up at night, he let her sleep, he was up at night when the baby cried every night. That was his commitment. So the baby bonded with him on such a deep level that, the baby wanted daddy when the baby was really upset. And this kind of made the mom upset, But when you have the child that bonded to you, that close to you, that is this reward that's so beyond what you can imagine before you've gone there. And when that grows for the rest of your life and becomes more and more of a relationship of complete unconditional love, the whole idea of commitment is a no-brainer, So, but still, if you had just one vow that you made to each other, and that was the vow to renew your vows every 3 to 6 months, and really do your best to honor those vows, however they changed, who knows, maybe you are monogamous, and then, I don't really think that polyamory works without breaking people up, but what about polygamy? What about people who marry another couple? And then you have deep, solid, long-lasting bonds, and you have another couple to share parenting with. These are really radical ideas, I know, but I just want to bring up the complexity of the situation and have people start thinking more creatively, because I think we open up to something that we are highly disappointed by, or we're just not creative enough about what we really want, and we get into something that's the opposite of what we thought we were signing up for. So much love to you on your adventure with the thoughts of deep, deep commitment. Be creative. Be honest. And make her safe. Really do something for the feminine that respects the fact that women need to be presented to community with their partner at some point on Facebook in a big party, to have the same empowerment that the man has without being married. The woman really needs you to at least be the kind of all there in it person who invites the community to celebrate the two of you and stands beside her with all 100% passionate partnership. Yeah, passionate partnership. Let's see, where can the partnership really start to be equal? And as a woman, can you do some of these domestic things with love? Not all of them, not be the slave to him or stuck cooking when you have a creative life of your own, but enough of it so that for him, that divine home, that heavenly experience he once had is back in his life with you as the goddess feminine that his mother held for him. I don't mean for you to be his mother. I just mean for the masculine, that sacred temple of the feminine is what he's looking for in marriage. So don't just be a guy. Don't just get into some equality thing where you're fighting over every cooking and all the chores. Get him to be in it with you enough that it's really feels wonderful that you're being served too. But do that little bit more, that little bit of feminine nurturing stuff that does feel on the verge of mothering to you, but don't do it from a mother place. Do it from the place of